Hi, YouTube family. I'm sitting here in my room and I thought I'd do a cancer update. It's only been 3 weeks since I last did an update, but it feels like months. I'm already on new medications. I did not stick to the Afinitor or AKA XMS, no, AKA everolimus. Because the test results of the biopsy came back and I have some of the pretty common mutations that happen when you fail your first line of endocrine therapy. So after failing Kisqali and having a PET scan with active disease in my pleura, I now have it's called PIK3CA, PIK3CA mutation and ESR1 mutation. So I think they're fairly common, and that guided us to changing the medication once again. So this is a third line, but I guess not technically because we didn't really give the other medications a chance to work. I was on them for maybe 6 weeks. So the drugs I moved on to already, I am on my third day, so very recently. I started what's called TrueCap. So it is specifically for people that have had the PIK3A mutation. So these should target my specific cancer better than Afinitor. I am still taking exemestane. This one is the hormone blocker or estrogen blocker, but only until I pair TrueCap with what it's normally paired with, which is fulvestrant, I think is how you pronounce it. And that is a monthly injection. I think you get one on each side of your butt, and I've heard it's painful, so I'm scared, but I will go in. First, you get it every 2 weeks for maybe the first month, and then it goes to monthly. And I will be getting it at the same time as my Lupron. So I'll be getting 3 injections at the same time every month, Lupron and fulvestrant. I don't know if it's fulvestrant or fulvestrant. I think there's a place where you emphasize the word. Anyway, that will start at my next appointment next Wednesday, June 11th. So once I get my first injection, I will stop the exemestane, and I'll continue with my TrueCap. So TrueCap is a weird one because you take it 4 days on and 3 days off, and you take it twice a day in those 4 days. So I got it on Tuesday, and I decided that would work really well with my teaching schedule if I take the drug Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'll have off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And you take it twice a day. So I am doing 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. In the morning, I'm taking it with food. In the evening, I'm not, but I figure I can just go to sleep if I feel bad. But so far, so good. I've taken 2 Wednesday, 2 Thursday, and what day is it? It's Friday. And 1 set, or the 2 today. So just, it's confusing, but I've taken 2, 4, 5 doses of it. Tonight I'll take my 6th, and then tomorrow 7th and 8th, and then I get 3 days off. So the number one side effect is diarrhea. I guess 70% of women, or yeah, I think it's always women, get that. So far, I have been feeling really good. The very first day, about an hour later, I had a little bit of nausea. I sat down, drank some water, and it passed, and I was able to film a yoga class. And then the next day was yesterday. I took it in the morning. Oh, and then I took it at night. Nothing through the night. I was thinking maybe I was going to wake up nauseous. Was fine. Yesterday I took 2, taught an hour later at 10, my HIIT class at the gym. So I think I'm doing really well. I don't know. I think the side effects maybe stack up on the end of your 4th day. But I think it's a really good sign that I have been okay. I still have some lingering mouth sores. I have one in particular, like right up here, which is like so annoying and kind of painful. But I can't think of anything else. Oh, so from Afinitor, I was getting the mouth sores, and then I started getting like, I would just feel my head, and I'd have these random little bumps of like an infected pore, or I don't know, yeah, on your scalp, like a hair follicle. So it'd feel like a little under the skin pimple in random spots on my head. But I don't think I have any right now. Yeah, and then the first couple weeks on that one, I was getting some pretty intense stomach aches. So anyway, it's really early, hard to say what's going to happen, but so far so good. And I think that's a good sign, because a lot of times the stomach and gut issues happen right away from what I've read. So I've been thinking a lot about the side effects and how I tend to get away pretty lucky, and got me thinking that a lot of the women that are on these drugs are in their 60s, 70s, 80s. It's what I see when I go in for my appointments. I always feel like I'm one of the younger patients that I see there, even though I'm not super young. But so I'm being compared in these studies against women that are much older and maybe have some other issues, some other health issues, and I'm healthy other than the cancer, and I work out regularly. I for the most part still doing a keto diet. I'm not as strict as I was. I will have like half of an apple if I feel like it, a bite of something. I had a bite of pizza for my kids like the other day. So I'm just not going to be so rigid about things, since it didn't really help me. At least it didn't keep the cancer away. I think it does help with my side effects, and I feel good. And I don't have the number one side effect that I always come across is women complaining about how tired they are. Fatigue is like the biggest one. I mean, in all my groups, women talk about that. And I would say that doesn't affect me at all, especially since I went on the keto diet. I have like energy for days during the day. I live fully. I do all the things that I have to do through the day, filming or teaching, and cleaning the house and just being a mom. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I will get everything done so that I can sit in bed and just kind of watch some TV, read a book, scroll, edit my videos and things. So I definitely rest when I need to rest, and I love to have downtime at the end of the night for sure before going to sleep. But I don't have like any kind of noticeable fatigue from the drugs. So just wanted to mention that. I think when you do have some youth on your side and you have taken care of yourself, and making diet changes definitely helps with those side effects. Can't say that's the case for everyone, but it has been what I think has worked for me. Okay, so I completely forgot to mention this whole part. In the PET scan, I had some small pleural effusion. So that led us to deciding to do a thoracentesis and a biopsy, really to just get the biopsy done and test anything they could get out of the nodules and the fluid, to get a better understanding of how my cancer has maybe mutated. And that we did that. And I hadn't noticed that I was active, like everything felt normal to me. So that PET scan was a huge shock. And it was so disappointing that Kisqali didn't last longer. I was on it for 15 months. And I just recently was looking up the average times or median times of how long each drug works. And Kisqali is typically the longest running. People get 2 years out of it, I think, on median time, because I think there's some that have really been on it for a long time. And then some people it doesn't even work, or it works less than a year. So that one's a pretty big range, but it's the longest median time. All the others, 7-8 months seems to be what I find, which is sad, but at least we're getting this time, and there are a lot of options now. So anyway, I started to get a cough, and I could feel the heaviness, and I got an x-ray, And as soon as I told my oncologist team, they said, you can go get an x-ray. I went that day. It was large pleural effusion. And I decided I was going to wait it out and see if maybe the medication that I was on, the last one, would start to kick in and maybe resolve itself. And it wasn't getting any better. And when I went in for my appointment to get my blood work done and just check in and review the PET scan, my oncologist said, why don't you go down and get another x-ray? So 2 weeks later, I got another one, which is pretty scary because I'm getting so much like radiation to my body with PET scans and x-rays. Anyway, has to be done. It was still the same, large pleural effusion. So I had to schedule another thoracentesis. I have had 3 now. I told you the last time they had given me some drugs, so I didn't even feel it. And this time was actually the same. And I didn't like it. I don't like to be drugged. So if I ever have to do it again, I'm probably going to ask to just have it be done like my first time, even though it was a little bit uncomfortable. They just gave me a local drug on my back and then did the needle, and it just felt like weird, but it wasn't painful. But this time they gave me a tiny bit of fentanyl again, and so I didn't even feel a thing, didn't even really know what was happening. But then I couldn't drive myself home, and I had to wait for my husband to come get me, and it was a whole thing because I didn't know I was going to get drugged. So that time, this is a few weeks ago now, or maybe a month ago, I had large pleural effusion. It was 1.1 liters, which is exactly the same amount as in December 2023 when I got it out and found out that my cancer was back and had metastasized to my pleura. So that is where I'm at. I've now had 3. I still feel like maybe there's a little bit of fluid in there. But again, I am hopeful that now that I have changed drugs a 3rd time, and this one is really targeted, sorry, there's so much noise going on, really targeted to my specific cancer and the mutations that it has now, specifically PIK3CA. So I am hopeful that this one is going to work for me. I truly hope that I get more than a year. It would be so awesome if I just hit a stride and got like multiple years out of it. You just never know what's going to happen, if your cancer is going to be able to thrive and eventually work around the drug. So at this point, I'm going to just stick with this one as long as it works. And I am in talks with some trials. My oncologist is going to put me in touch with some people at UCSF. I'm close to San Francisco, so they're going to reach out to me in case anything comes up. And then I've reached out to Fred Hutch in Seattle, and we've been playing some phone tag, and my next step is to make an appointment over there. So I might be making a little Seattle trip to meet with the oncologist team there and see if I would qualify for any trials. So yeah, I'm not sure if I should just stick out this line and see how long I get and then really focus on trying to get into something, or if something works out and they accept me, just like trying that. So that's my update. I knew for a couple weeks I wanted to chat with you guys because it's just a time where a lot is happening. So wish me luck on TrueCap. I will keep you posted. So far I'm feeling great. Thanks for being on this journey with me. I love you guys. Share with me if you know anything about TrueCap and fulvestrant. If you guys are taking the same, I always like to hear from people going through it with me. Makes me feel less alone. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.